So, when is it really okay to use your savings where you don't have to feel guilty or anxious about it? So just recently, I've spent over 6 figures. I touched my savings big time, and here are the 3 questions I had to ask myself that you can ask yourself too, so that you can feel confident and take control of your hard-earned savings. Let's go. What's up, guys? It's Nick. As you know, I'm a recovered shopaholic, now a money, mindset, and life coach, helping Filipino professionals to fund their dreams into reality. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you what caused me to spend over 6 figures recently, and I got it from my own savings fund. And it's really for us to learn what's the difference between untouchable savings versus using savings that would be meant to be spent. Because remember, if you're only anxious about seeing your savings decrease even a little, or you're still anxious even if you see that amount there and you're scared that one day you're gonna touch it, if you're always constantly anxious and worried about your savings, then it's doing the complete opposite for you. Your savings should give you the peace of mind and the freedom of choice to live your best life. If it's not doing that, then there's something that you need to do differently. So if you're all about that, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I do have a new video every single week. Now let's get into those questions to ask yourself. First question that is super important is, ask yourself, how does this fast track your life goal? And this is something that I always go back to. If you've been watching my channel, you have to be really specific first and be intentional and proactive first on what your life goals are, so that it would be easy for you to realign. Okay, if I touch my savings, if I use a portion of my savings, it would really help me in making this life goal a reality. That it would really contribute and make an impact in making this life goal achievable and possible for me. Because if you don't have a specific life goal that is created on our terms, it's gonna be so easy to get distracted, to get derailed based on societal standards, on what we should spend on, how we should be using our savings, how we should not use our savings. So it's super important that if you want to be taking control of how you use your money, how you save, and how and when to use it, then you need to be first crystal clear on what your savings are for in the first place. As a real life example, in the recent events that I have touched my savings big time, it's because of my life goal that I've been sharing recently, which is I'm going to get married soon. And in line with that, we are moving to my fiance and I, we are moving to a new place together. And the past few months have been really packed in a good way in terms of taking care of the renovations, buying furniture, appliances, home essentials, and that goal cost a lot. So in order to make that goal a reality, for us to have a smooth transition towards our married life, to have a smooth transition to having a fully furnished home and condo, then we needed to be prepared in spending this amount of money, because this goal is important to us. And this is something that ever since I believe we got engaged last December 2021, I've already updated like one of my life goals to this one, which is to really fund our intimate wedding and have a smooth transition to our fully furnished condo by the end of 2022. So it's super important that you separate your savings fund based on specific life goals, so that when the time comes that you are going to use that amount, you won't feel bad about it. Rather, you would feel excited that thankfully I have funds that would make this goal a reality, that I would finally get to achieve this. So for instance, we have our joint savings fund together. So we've been constantly putting a dedicated amount every month on our joint savings fund. And when I say joint, it's not necessarily both of our names are in this account. It's just that this account serves as, we're going to use this in a way that will mutually benefit us both. So I really wanted us to have me and my partner to have an open conversation about us being like mentally prepared that we are going to use a portion of our joint savings fund that we've been like saving for so long for this transition in our life. So the biggest chunk that we had to touch this joint savings fund is for the renovation of our condo. So we hired a contractor, someone to do the interior design and also to do the construction, the carpentry, and the fabrication of the cabinets and installation and everything. And it's over 6 figures to spend on that, but we knew that eventually this condo, we're not gonna be here permanently. Eventually we plan to like rent it out, you know, years down the road. And so we want to make sure that it's really, really furnished well. And because we had that funds ready, we're actually able to furnish the place earlier than expected. And so I was supposed to move in like December 2022, but it's actually gonna be earlier. That's why the question is, going back to how does this fast track your life goal? And for me, being able to use our savings for this definitely fast tracked this goal. Another thing that I used my savings for is, so I have a separate freedom fund that I told you guys about. So that freedom fund was at the start, like, you know, 1 year ago, was really to give me the confidence to go full-time in my business. And so it was able to serve its purpose for that. And now that I've already achieved that goal and that I'm full-time, now I want to be financially prepared in going through life transitions and these new life milestones while I'm also like scaling my business. And so that became like the purpose of my freedom fund now. And so in this process, like we needed to buy like appliances and all of that. And at first, my initial plan was using my credit card for the installments so that it would be easier to pay month on month. And then apparently ngayon, meron na palang magandang promo na if you do straight charge. So if you use a credit card and charge it straight, pay in full, may like ang laki nung discount, like 2,000 or even more. So na-realize ko na, why would I swipe it on an installment when I could pay it in full anyway? That's why I was able to get a chunk from my freedom fund to pay off the appliance, specifically our ref inverter. Go back to asking yourself, does it fast track a life goal that I have? Because trust me, it's either gonna be a yes or a no, and then you're gonna know, is it gonna be worth using my savings for? Second question to ask yourself, and I'm gonna be real with you, and we're gonna get real deep as always in this channel, but we have to be. And so I want you to ask yourself, what's the story you're creating around spending a huge amount of money on yourself? What is the story that is replaying in your head about spending this huge amount? Are you telling yourself, that's too much? That's too much to spend on myself? Or I don't really deserve that? Like, am I really worth spending that amount on myself? On my dreams? I can find a way to DIY or look for other alternatives that would be free so that I don't have to feel guilty about spending this amount. Or like, maybe I'll just do it sometime, you know, maybe next time, because that's really a huge amount. Like, I don't deserve that. That's selfish. Isn't that selfish to spend that much? Or isn't it irresponsible to use that amount on a dream, on this life goal, when I could just like see it increase in my emergency fund? You need to be honest with yourself about these thoughts that have been repeating in your head more than you think. Because I promise you, in my personal experience, having reached like 6-figure savings, and then also coaching Filipino professionals who just kept hoarding savings or who felt anxious about decreasing their savings even just a little bit, no amount of savings or earnings will give you that peace of mind unless you really be honest with yourself about your relationship with money. It's not so much as the amount, it's the meaning, the story that you attach to that amount. Because oftentimes we think that, oh, once we get 500K, that will give me the peace of mind. How would you know that? How do you know that 500K is going to give you the peace of mind? That's why I coach my clients in creating their own criteria on what's finally enough. What's the amount that's finally enough that they see in their savings that will give them the permission to live worry-free, to feel secured, to feel confident in making the right money decisions, and more importantly, take that logical leap in pursuing the life goals or dreams that they've always wanted. Because if we're just constantly paralyzed and fixated on increasing our savings but not really knowing what it's for, what you're going to use it for eventually, then your savings is actually taking control of you rather than the other way around. Because here's the truth. Here's the truth that I wanted to slap myself with. Okay, medyo aggressive. Pero it's something that kung babalikan ko yung sarili ko talaga nung time na I had like 6-figure savings but I was so anxious to spend it on this course, on this program that would help me with the skills in launching my own business. But what was really stopping me was, what if I fail? What if I get that and then I don't follow through? What if I'm not really good enough to start a business? What if I spend that much on a program tapos I just fail? But then what I didn't fail to see is that, but Nick, what if this time it does work out? What if when you get to invest this amount on yourself, you finally put that time and effort because you know that you invested this amount on yourself? There is power in choosing and deciding that I'm worth investing in myself. I am worth choosing myself this time around. I am worth prioritizing the dreams that I've delayed for so long. This time, I'm going to take charge. And the truth that I wanted to slap myself with at that time when I was just like, should I not? And then delayed it 2 years later, was that, Nick, I promise you, your big dreams come with making big investments at the right time. Your big dreams come with making big investments at the right time. You can't expect that, oh, I have this big dream, but I want to play small. I want to invest small. I want to invest a little bit of my time, a little bit of my energy, a little bit of my money. Because what happens is, when you invest small, then your results are small. How long are you going to keep spending on the small things for small rewards, for mini rewards? That's what I realized. Like, I just kept buying the small things. Like, oh, basta makabili ako ng mga gusto ko na skincare, makabili ng mga gusto kong clothes, makabili ng pagkain na gusto ko sa Food Panda or Grab. Like, I realized I was settling for the small stuff because I was scared if I'd be good enough for the big things, for the big dreams. And that's something I want to slap myself with, is that I would tell her and shake her, my past self who delayed investing in her dreams, prioritizing the program that would give her the skills. I wanted to just shake her up and tell her that you're worth it. You're worth prioritizing. You deserve to choose yourself this time. Because only when I changed the story I had around spending money and how I could use my savings towards funding my dreams, that's only when I felt empowered to use a chunk of my savings, pull it out from my bank account, and know that I know that's going to yield the ROI that I want. So if you also want to have that clarity and confidence in finally using money as a tool, as a bridge in funding your dreams that you've always wanted to have in your life, and finally wake up with more purpose, fulfillment, and excitement towards feeling more in control of where and how to allocate your money in line with fast tracking your own life goals, then I would love to coach you through that inside my one-on-one coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. As always, you can check the link in my bio to learn all the details on how I teach my clients, the modules inside my program, how we go into the inner work, the mindset work, on how we can train our mind to have a more self-serving story around money so that we get to feel more empowered and confident in using money in making the right money decisions that would allow you to feel confident in investing in the right things and allocating your money in such a way that would create the biggest impact in funding your dreams because you deserve to. You can check that link in my bio below and get inspired also by my other clients who are thriving and funding their dreams because they have mastered their habits and mindset around money, and now they're on their way in funding the dreams that they have always hoped that would be their reality. Third question to ask yourself to know if it's okay to use your savings is, how can you trust yourself to rebuild your savings again. And I want you to know that it's gonna be a priceless skill that you are going to build. If you've built your emergency fund to a certain point, how can you trust yourself again that you can replicate that again every single time? And that comes with, is your financial system sustainable for you to continuously have intentional spending and saving habits that would allow you to save consistently without depriving yourself, that would allow you to spend guilt-free, that would allow you to enjoy the balance of enjoying the now, enjoying the present, while still saving up for your future goals. That has to be a consistent skill. That has to be a skill that you can always go back to. And sometimes I go back to, what is consistency? How do you know if you have this consistent habit? And it really boils down to, how is your financial system working to your favor? Like, I love it when I coach my clients on creating their own financial system that is so simple and so easy to follow, because I ask them, like, after all of that, I'm like, so how many minutes do you think it's gonna take for you to do that? And they're like, oh, probably like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I only have to do that twice a month. So in essence, they're only gonna spend 30 minutes on their finances in a whole month. 30 minutes spending on your finances for a whole month, rather than checking it every day and feeling anxious. Did I already pay my bills? Should I just put that towards my savings instead? Should I not spend on that? I feel bad about spending that. Maybe I should just put it in my savings. Like that debacle in your head, that's consuming time, mental space in your mind that should be channeled somewhere else that is more productive, that is more exciting, that is more fulfilling, such as taking action on these goals that you have, on your life goals, right? May it be starting that business, may it be wanting to get a promotion in your career, may it be finally looking or finding for that property that you want to save up for, right? Like, these are the things that we want to pour our energy towards, rather than thinking every day, is my money really going towards the right things? If you're thinking about that every day, there's something that you need to do differently with your financial system. And I believe that your financial system should adjust to your needs, your lifestyle, your income. When my clients ask me about, like, coach, okay lang ba talaga I use this amount from my emergency fund, I had to use this amount, and I'm like, how is that a problem? How is that a problem? And they're like, actually, hindi naman pala, because I had to use that because I was able to help my family when there was a medical emergency. I was also able to use that when I had unexpected, unpredictable expenses during my move out, when I decided to move out on my own. So I was like, okay, so didn't it benefit you rather than burden you? When you have built the skill of building your emergency fund, you don't have to feel anxious that, oh my gosh, nabawasan siya. Why do you have to worry about something when you know that you have the skill to do it again and again and again? And that's where having a sustainable, simple financial system really comes into the picture. And at the same time, there's also the mindset work of, like, do you believe that you can replicate it? Do you believe that you're capable to consistently, continuously earn the income that you deserve? Because oftentimes, if you're worried about rebuilding your savings, it goes back to how you build up yourself, how you build up your belief about yourself. I love, like, what my client shared, that when I celebrated her on my Instagram stories, Angel, when she shared that, oh my gosh, handling my finances can actually be fun and exciting. I'm like, oh, who would have thought, right? Because before, she really just wanted to understand, like, why she had always negative emotions or negative associations around money. And when I helped her release all of that and really understand the root cause of why she had negative associations towards money, when she was able to really release that from the root cause, she realized that mas magaan yung pakiramdam, and now she has room to rechannel and use her energy towards taking action on her goals that would allow her to earn more, to increase her income. And now, like, I'm so happy for her. She was able to achieve her target monthly income in one job, and because she wanted to get out of working multiple jobs, and now she realized how resourceful and capable she really is to focus on one full-time job but still get her ideal monthly income, and at the same time work towards her future business. And she's actually launching it very soon. She was able to use a portion of her savings so that she could also finally move out on her own. But then she's like, you know what, even though I use that amount, I don't really feel anxious about it, because I know that I have the system, and I know I have the belief in myself and confidence that I could rebuild my savings again. Since I talked a lot about making the right investments at the right time, make sure you check out this video where I talk about when is the right time to invest, because I tell you, it's not always now. We get to be in control on when do we finally prioritize the big investments in our life that would truly create the return on investment that we want. So check out that video, and I'll see you there.